Coming up now on Just Talk Radio and Podcast Show.
You're trying to tell me they'll be doing their thing, have their woman, and just looking at you. See, that don't sit well with me. Do they actually come back 2 years later to say, "Yo, you're legit now"?
Some would. Some would, or they might try even at that age.
1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2. Yes, me myself, Mr. Deshane inside the place, and today we have Jalissa. Give a round of applause for Jalissa in Solway. Today is going to be about anything goes. But if you have any comments, please leave them in the comment section. Hey Jalissa, how you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing good as always. Thank you for asking.
You're welcome.
So today, it's anything goes. Just like it says in the background, anything goes. So if you have anything you would like to discuss in particular, you can even ask me any questions. I'm up for it. So I don't know if you was tuned in on what day was it? Was it Wednesday? Yeah, Wednesday. I did a quick little show about relationships. You was tuned in. How do you think that went?
That was actually amazing.
It was amazing.
It was
Woo! Amazing.
First time?
Amazing. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, first time doing that. It was very good. It was interactive. I enjoyed it. I got some points. Some people said that I need a female host to co-host with me so it's not biased.
Agreed.
So, okay, you agree?
I agree.
Why do you agree?
For the exact same reason, so it's not biased.
So did you feel that it was biased? You know what? I'll give a little...
Okay.
Terrible.
Age limits. Like, you find that women or young women like older guys. And what's so funny, when they get older, they go for the younger guys. Do you have any idea of that? Do you prefer older guys?
I would say so.
You prefer older guys?
Given my track record, yeah.
Oh, she said track record. A whole record. I ain't even gonna go there. Record.
It's a record.
Okay. Why do you prefer older guys?
When I was younger, I don't know. They seem more established, put together.
Okay. You're saying when you're younger, I don't want to go too deep, but like, at what age are you talking about when you say you was younger, you found the older guys more established and, what's the other word you said?
Put together.
Put together.
Like 16, 17.
So you was like 16, 17, 18, and the guys that you had your eye on were how old? Putting her on blast right from the start. Good. And you see what it is? I told her to bring up the topic, you know. I told her to bring up the topic.
No,
now look.
usually 5 years and older.
Like, so you say you were 16, 17. And what at that age, what did you consider as older?
I think on the youngest part of the spectrum would be like about 5 years older.
Okay, 5 years older. So 16, 20, 21. And of course, especially in the US, that's considered illegal. It is illegal. 16-year-old statutory to be with a 20, 21-year-old. But it's a fact that women or girls actually mature quicker than guys. It is. You know, and then I think after a while it just evens out where you're both on the same playing field. You both got your educating, but girls tend to be ahead of the game in the earlier stages. And then eventually it kind of seems like it fizzles and we're both on neutral ground. So I guess were the older guys attracted to the younger girls as well? Or was it just pretty much you're a little girl, you're too young for me? Or
Oh, no.
yeah? they actually 20,
They would count down to when you're 17 and when you're 18 and...
Oh, wait, you're trying to tell me they'll be doing their thing, have their woman, and just looking at you. See, that don't sit well with me. Especially having a daughter as well. You're making me think that there's guys out there saying, yeah, in the next 5, 6, oh my gosh.
There's guys.
Listening crew, how do you feel about that? Is that true? So she just basically said to me, let's just summarize this real quick. We already know that girls mature quicker than guys. So obviously their eye is on an older gentleman, 5 years or so older. So 16, we're looking at 21. And them guys are actually looking at them like, yeah, I want that, but she's too young. I don't want to get in trouble. And they'll actually wait. Or at that time, Really?
Yeah.
Really?
You know, I mean,
Really?
at the time, we like to say girls mature more quickly, but being the age that I am now and reflecting, it's naive to think that at that age that you are mature enough for anybody past your own age group.
It's true, you know. It is true because,
It's
like,
very naive.
when we look back at these 16-year-olds, we look at they're little kids, they're children.
Exactly.
Like, we're really looking at it like that little kid. Like, it's
And-
true, you know. It's true. It's true. You're
Like,
right.
while you think at the time you have your head on straight, you know what it is that you want, you need, you have zero life experience.
That's true.
And then you're jumping into this thing with somebody who has even just a little bit. It's very, very, very naive.
Yeah, yeah.
Very naive.
Nah, you're right there. But you see what it is when it's happening at the time, you don't see it.
No.
It's when you've experienced life and when you've matured and you've grown up and you look back and you see the younger generation, you're like, wow. And then you say, you know what? I was young, I was a child. And how do you look at the guys? Like, when you're older, how do you look at that guy that was approaching and then waiting for you? That do you see them in a different light?
Yes. In the sense of they knew you were naive. They knew you were inexperienced. They knew they could take advantage of you and make you think that you had it under control.
So,
But they were controlling the entire situation the whole time.
so with that being said, you think the guys were just only
Predatory?
well, you can see that too, but do you think there wasn't no genuine liking? I've seen people been together from that age and
Right.
they've grown up and they've actually stuck with or had children and it's lasted and it's did pretty good. But are you saying for the most part that what is it that make them go?
As an adult now with children, myself, how do you find someone in a uniform attractive?
Oh man, oh boy, yeah. Key point there. How do you find someone?
Like, what do you have in common? Apart from the fact that you went to the school 5 years prior. Like, what do you talk about?
Can you help me with my homework?
Exactly. What do you talk about when they're just like a lot of the experience? Well, I can't say a lot.
But then,
but
I'm not saying I agree with it. But if a lady is, let's say at 16, she's mature for her age, or no, let's say that they're not mature for their age. The guys are immature. Yeah, that's what it is. So they might be 21, but they're thinking like an 18-year-old. Does that bridge the gap? Or does it bring it? 18 and 16-year-olds. You're at school with 16 and 18-year-olds.
they might think that way. And then on the flip side, they're like, okay, well, if you were 18, this would be okay. You know what I mean? Like, what is a couple of years? A couple of years is a couple of years life experience.
Yeah, a couple years could be a matter of jail.
That too.
You know what I mean? So
A couple of years is a lot can happen in all them days. It's like a lot can happen. I do agree there are some girls who tend to who appear more mature because of their home life. They have more responsibilities and they have to take on more real life experience. So they might have that. And I think in that sense, the relationship could surpass the statutory time frame, but that's rare.
right.
That's
So
rare. A lot of the girls look mature, and then you stop and you talk to them, and it's like there's nothing in there.
okay, all right. So let's say a 20-year-old female and a 30-year-old guy.
It's legal.
What about the mental state, the mindset?
I don't see how.
Remember, now this is where the gap closes because the guy's experienced more in life. He's had to
Right.
obviously work, maybe gone to school and has his own place now. So he should have stepped up in maturity. Now the woman where she was mature for her age or at the right level where she's supposed to be, she's now just gone into the real world. Can it a 20-year-old and 30-year-old, can that be a relationship that turns out to be one that can potentially be marriage or beyond that? Like
Personal
because
experience.
that's 10 years now.
Personal
And
experience,
5 years
yeah.
was the one we were speaking about before.
Right. So yes, it can, but when I say personal, I don't mean me personally. No.
No, cool.
I mean within my own personal life, I have seen these things happen, especially with the older generation, where there's like a 9-10 year age gap and they're married 40-50 plus years. Now I'm thinking I still think that it is imbalanced in the sense of, yes, that's an adult, but he still has to train her, if that makes sense.
But you know what as well? I hear what you're saying with training. Too much experience can be a problem as well. Too much experience can be challenging. Like at some point you want to train your guy in some ways and he wants to train you in some ways. Now, when you both got all of that experience, you're able to judge based on what you've been in before. That might not be right, but you're still going to judge. Do you get what I'm saying?
Right.
So you're going to be looking at, when in my past relationship, this happened, that happened. You got so much to judge by depending on how much relationships you had prior, that if you meet a woman that, say, hasn't been in the world as long and it's just take me as I am, simple, and you're able to mold her, she's able to mold you in somewhat, could it not be happier because they haven't had that experience out there to be judging and be talking and saying this happened before and that they don't like that. Do you get what I'm saying?
I understand.
So, all right, what do you think about that? I mean, when I look at a 20-year-old, for the most part, I've met some mature 20-year-olds
Right.
and I've met some really childish, like come across them at work, wherever. Like, so
Some of the most childish men that I've ever come in contact with were like 20 years older than me. So I get it.
wow.
I get it.
Wow. What made them childish? Like,
They
seriously.
were very immature when it comes to, they had their business together. But when it came to relationship, parenting, friendships, they were really immature. They just want to party all the time. Like,
20 years older. I don't want to, it's up to you if you want to say your age, because 20-year-old older can be.
What at the time I was in my 20s. So I'm 30.
Oh, you're 30.
31.
So are you talking like 50-year-old immature men, or when you was
Yeah.
like 20
Well,
and they were
when
like
I was
40?
20 and they were like 40, they were trying to, I guess, emulate what a 20-year-old would be doing at the time.
Instead of being themselves.
And that probably was themselves, but I don't know if past experience, past life, they're trying to replay something maybe they missed or.
Do you think it could be that they're trying to they feel that they have to come down to your level? Because, you know, like even me, and sometimes I'd be like, man, I'm getting gray and I want to put dye in my hair. I'm being real, guys. And you can look at that as trying to emulate and be younger or some kind of insecurities. I'm not insecure,
Okay.
but you can look at it like that.
You can.
That instead of being themselves, they're like thinking maybe she'll like me and they've got it wrong. You just like them because you like mature guys, but they're thinking because you're younger, they have to. I'll be straight up. I've been in a relationship where the female is younger than myself and they want to be out and do stuff that I've done already and I don't want to. And then where you have to kind of compromise.
Right.
You have to compromise. I might find it immature or childish when it's not, because I've been there at that age. I was doing that.
Like, you
It's
did it
normal.
already.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So you can't say, I don't know. It depends, man. I think just before you indulge or go deep into anything, that's a conversation.
The
you have to-
immaturity is not just with that. They lack the proper communication skills. They kind of, the way that they handle conflict, to me, is not indicative of their age. Like, you have far more years on me. How did you not? That's what I was thinking at the time. Like, well, how do you not know how to talk to people? How do you
Experience,
not know how to express yourself?
Experience.
Why the silent treatment? Like, what is this tantrum about? You know?
Experience.
So I
Like,
found a lot of the times the guys closer in age to me tend to be more level-headed. At least this is just my personal experience. They were more level-headed.
the ones closer to you, as in their early 30s.
They would still be older, but at least 5-7 years.
So then basically there's a difference between the 5-7 years and then beyond that they go back immature. Like,
I don't know if it's.
but I'm sure you've
There's
met
a
some.
lot of things. There's a lot of things that probably came into play. because you experience that thing and then you try to do something different. So maybe that is why
Yeah.
the person younger seemed more mature, because that's what you were looking for actually,
Right.
instead of looking at age.
Yeah.
But
Would you date someone younger than you?
that is something that I have not.
Would you, for real though? Like, there's some
don't
successful
know.
young guys, you know,
I don't know.
that's doing good for themselves. Don't write off the young man. Then don't do it.
I
Don't
agree.
do it.
I
There is
completely
some-
agree.
And there, remember,
Oh, what happened there? There's some successful young guys out there. Anyway, oh gosh.
So sorry, I don't know why I did that. I don't know. It just got, that's the Pisces in me. Yeah, because remember now. Remember now. We're more exposed now. We got access to the internet.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't. I don't know about you, but
I did.
we didn't. I didn't have all that access to like so much resources. Now it was library and knowledge from our parents and grandparents. Now they've got access. Look, I think something as simple as teaching about credit in school. I think that's very important. They don't teach that credit, banking, and stuff like that.
Right.
Is very important. I didn't have a clue about that.
Same.
And my brother, I feel so bad up to this day. It was probably 30 years ago. He took out a contract for me. And I just, I owe you, bro. I owe you, bro. It's my conscience. I owe you, bro. I might have jacked up his credit. I might have. But I didn't know.
Right.
God ain't going to judge me for what I didn't know.
No. He
So,
wastes that
yeah.
ignorance. At least
Now
that's
I
what
know.
he
And I think that's important. And I say that to say this, that the younger people, the younger generation, they're very much more clued up. They can be more clued up versus, the back in the day kids, even
Right, 'cause-
children using tablets and little babies
Right.
and stuff. It's just a different world. But I think this is a topic that we're going to follow through on. And hopefully we'll speak about it another time soon. Hope you guys enjoyed it. This is just a sneak preview. We'll be back. I'd like to thank Jalissa. Give her a round of applause. She just stepped in last minute. Stay in tune for the next one. Peace.